You're approaching Charlie. Watch for hostiles.
Yep. Me too. I'm there.
Down. Clear out the hostiles in the area. They're interfering with the signal. Find out what you got. We're losing
Oh yeah, that felt like
50%.
that felt awesome. Oh, did you just kick? I shot him in the face and you kicked him out the window.
We can tag team this. Oh yeah. Pilot's still up. Watch him, he's coming down. He's on you. Now he's off you.
Thanks.
This is attrition.
Hey folks, Dave here, and I'm going to talk today about Titanfall at last. I figure at this point the hype has died down just a bit, and after playing quite a few hours over the last month and a half or so, I'm finally ready to kind of give you guys my thoughts and opinions. I definitely approached Titanfall pre-launch with a lot of skepticism. A lot of people were just riding the hype train after the very, very rough launch of Battlefield 4, and the game's theme didn't really interest me a whole lot. I mean, sure, giant titans are pretty awesome, and the gunplay in the beta was definitely great and reminded me a lot of Crysis, but my personal FPS game staples have always been the Battlefield series for one, and games that kind of lean more realistic like the Red Orchestra series. So Titanfall definitely wasn't really impressing me before launch, but I could not deny the beta was a lot of fun. The game seemed a bit simple, but there was no denying that every time I got on with the rest of the casual shenanigans guys, we always had a blast, and the game even in beta worked really well. So at last, launch time rolled around and the reviews started pouring in. I of course did not pre-order. I wanted to just stand back, wait for those reviews, and see how the rest of the CSG guys thought their purchase was valued. And within the first 24 hours, I was hovering over that purchase button on Origin. The reviews were just off the charts, and I kept hearing from Joel and Jeremiah about how much fun it was. And so I finally just gave in right there on launch day, less than 24 hours really, after the launch of the game, and just dove in. And honestly guys, no regrets. Titanfall is a simple game, as you guys have heard us talk about on the podcast possibly, and that simplicity is actually a big selling point for me. I obviously love Battlefield, but I feel like the series has kind of grown too big for its britches, if you will. They're trying to just cram so much into it. Titanfall kind of takes a step back and simplifies the classes, simplifies the weapons, and simplifies the combat. Because of this, the game is very easy to pick up, but there are options for expansion with attachments and burn cards and areas like that, where you can branch out and definitely improve as you continue to play the game, without just being bombarded with tons and tons of options coming at you. Of course, being based on the Source engine, the gunplay is fantastic. It is tight and it is just responsive. The game is always a blast to play, and I really never had a moment where I was like, the game has cheated me there. It was always like, oh man, that guy did this crazy wall jump thing and blew me away, and wow, that was a terrible shot for me. It was never like, oh yeah, we traded kills because the tick rate is 400 and the server ping is terrible. Even a few weeks after the game's launch, I really wasn't seeing any major issues. Occasionally I had some weird graphics crashes, some memory graphics corruption that caused flickering textures, and a couple of times my in-game environment would stop rendering, and I would just have the UI on top of a black rendered world, which is not actually great for playing competitively. But for the most part, the game ran well, and I'm sure that with a couple more patches and driver updates, it's going to improve. The frame rate was a little bit low for what I would expect from a Source game, but you really can't deny the game does look amazing. There really weren't any major post-launch issues that I saw. Right from the start, the game ran well and continued to perform well. And the only real issues were maybe in the area of matchmaking. I've definitely played a couple of rounds where the game seems to be searching for players for quite a long time, and once it starts filling up the lobby, I'm playing against people who have prestiged like 3 or 4 times, and I'm like rank 35 going, what's going on here? And then we get rolled over. Respawn is working on redoing the lobby system and adding, of course, private lobbies, as well as a improved matchmaking system, and I do have hope that that's going to continue to improve. It is kind of a strange feeling to sit here and look at a AAA launch of an FPS game here in 2014 and go, yeah, it works and it's just fun. There's not a lot to talk about past that. I will agree with some criticism that has been leveled against Titanfall, where people are saying this game may not have the longevity of some of the larger Battlefield titles and whatnot, and yeah, I can agree with that. But I'm only playing Titanfall maybe once or twice a week for an hour or 2 at a time, which, while it means that I'm not getting great at the game and people are definitely improving faster than I am, it also means that the game is always fresh, new, interesting, and very fun for me. This is a game that I can see me playing for a decent amount of time, and I feel like I'm going to get a good amount of gameplay out of my purchase price. It reminds me a lot of the days where I used to play on the Xbox 360 with a bunch of friends in high school playing Halo 2 on LAN. The games are small and tight and compact, even with the AI soldiers running around to add that Battlefield ambience. And it's a lot of fun just to be competitive in those smaller matches. I really don't see Titanfall needing giant 24, 32, or 64 player matches. It's just not that style of game, and that's okay. Titanfall knows what it is and what it's good at, and it sticks to it. It's a fast-paced, tight, relatively simple, easy to get into but hard to master shooter. And it does all of the above very well. This may be the only Titanfall video that you guys see from me for a while. I don't expect to roll out a lot of Titanfall content, but I'm going to record matches here and there, and if something awesome happens in the game, I will probably share it with you guys. If you're still on the fence about Titanfall, definitely keep an eye out for sales on Origin or slickdeals.net or wherever you like to watch for game sales. It is most definitely worth a decent purchase price, even if it's not the full $60. I think anybody who enjoys a good FPS game can definitely find some enjoyment here, and I may see you guys out there. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you all on the next video.